When you play the Game of Thrones,
Subscribe and like.
you die. There is no middle ground.
Welcome back to the Grease Goblins YouTube channel. Today's video, yes, we're going to be talking about why Young Griff's parentage really doesn't matter. We talk about so much on this channel, in the community. Is he a Blackfire? Is he a Targaryen? And going through all this evidence, what his true birth is he the Aegon of the Robert Rebellion era, Rhaegar's son? Is he actually legit? And I want to tell you, I've been rereading the Winds of Winter sample chapters for a collab video and ranking them, and something I really came away with, especially the Arianne chapters, is really more of the way Young Griff and Daenerys are going to be looked at. Like, Young Griff is a character that it doesn't matter if he's not a true Targaryen. If he can play the part of him actually being a Targaryen and leading this Golden Company army and taking Storm's End, taking King's Landing, it doesn't really matter if he's a Blackfire. There's no way you're going to be able to really prove that he isn't a Targaryen outside of the word of, like, Illyrio, Varys. Like, those people are really your only evidence that you have of him being either a Blackfire or a Targaryen. And I look at it and I go, it just doesn't matter. Even though I find it really interesting and I love speculating about him being a Blackfire or a Targaryen and the symbolism that has and how George constantly seems to be nodding at that, especially in A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, I look at it and I go, well, you have two different characters in Daenerys and Young Griff, and their dynamic is going to be defined by their actions, about who they are as people. Arianne, now, yes, Arianne I think is a little jealous of Daenerys. I think there's a little bit of that womanly rivalry between the two, but in the Winds of Winter sample chapters, one thing that Arianne thinks about a lot is her brother Quentyn and Daenerys. And she thinks about Daenerys a lot in her past actions, and she's trying to figure out, like, why would she do these things? Like, for instance, when we have Viserys' death in Book 1, we're with Daenerys the whole time. We're in her head. We know exactly why she allows Viserys to be killed, because of the horrible things that he's doing, threatening her child, abusing her for years and years and years. We completely understand why that happened. But, for instance, other people that are looking at that event without any context, Daenerys was married to the Dothraki, who Westeros is all going to believe is the most savage people possible. She allowed her brother to be killed with molten gold, an extremely cruel and harsh way to go. People are going to look at that and go, okay, that is very weird. Your last remaining sibling, and you kill them pretty cruelly, and you were with the Dothraki, and then all of a sudden you get dragons, which dragons in and of themselves, many people are not going to like that they're back. I made a whole video on Summerhall, and I think there was a lot of things going on there that will also apply to Daenerys as well. We then follow Daenerys even further, and we go forward, and it's, again, the context of the story. It's her brutally killing some masters, or even if that rumor even travels, it might just be that Daenerys killed a bunch of people just cruelly, just continuing this act of, well, what House of the Dragon kind of tried to do with Rhaenyra, or what Fire and Blood does a really great job of, is like Rhaenyra the Cruel. It's going to apply to Daenerys as well, just based on people having no context to her actions, having no idea why she's doing the things she does. A lot of people have speculated Daenerys is going to burn Volantis or burn any of these other places. Those things are going to leave behind, rumors, speculation. Why did she do these things? I mean, think about Robb Stark. So Robb Stark, when he's winning all these battles, all these people are making rumors that Robb Stark is this half-wolf character, and he has giants, and he has all this different stuff that obviously is not true, but we understand why it happens, because people are looking for some reason that Robb was able to overcome Lannister forces at multiple different accounts. The same can be true about Daenerys. Think about what the Freys try to tell about Robb, right? To the Manderleys, we see that through Davos's POV, like Robb turned into a wolf, and he started killing people, and all of this stuff. The same can apply to Daenerys. People are going to spread rumors against her, even if they don't mean to do so, that are going to negatively impact her image. And so Daenerys coming over, she's going to have dragons, which people are going to be very fearful of. She's going to have the Dothraki, this most barbaric people that come over to seemingly only raid and take people's women and enslave people and then sell them off. Like, all that kind of stuff is going to apply there. And you look at Daenerys' background, all of that applies to her. She, having the Unsullied, all these foreign factions. Think about Young Griff's reputation, and this is why I really don't think his parentage matters for the actual, people of the story. People are not really going to care if Young Griff is a Blackfyre or a Targaryen. They're going to believe what they want to believe, and there's just such a stark contrast between what people will think about with Young Griff and what people will think about with Daenerys. Young Griff is a character who is bringing back all these exiled knights and lords and all these, old houses that were put into exile. And yes, the Golden Company, they are sellswords, but they're the most respected one. Think about it. Stannis even names the Golden Company of who he wants Justin Massey to get in the Winds of Winter Theon's sample chapter. So you think about the Golden Company, very different than the Dothraki and the Unsullied. And you have people like Jon Connington coming back. You have, Rhaegar's last heir in Aegon. So in a lot of ways, you look at Young Griff, who doesn't have this background of rumors of bad things about him. He's going to have a much better reputation. And I think that's really going to play into King's Landing, why it does fall to Young Griff probably pretty easily. But you look at that and you go, okay, well, let's say that Young Griff is a Blackfyre, which I believe. What does that do for the story? Well, yes, for us readers that love the Blackfyres, it'll be nice because it's like the Blackfyres having one last ditch attempt, and maybe this is the time they actually do get on the throne, and all of that stuff that comes along with that. But in reality, for the actual story, outside of just maybe a character like Daenerys, for instance, or maybe even Jon Snow when he realizes that he is Rhaegar and Lyanna's child, it doesn't hold all that much weight to it, outside of maybe if Jon Connington is told this information, maybe that Illyrio, to save his own life, his own neck, tells Daenerys what's going on with Young Griff, and then Daenerys maybe tells that to Jon Connington. Would Jon Connington even believe that? Because Jon Connington views Young Griff or Aegon as a son, and all of this stuff. It's so interesting with maybe the actual couple characters involved. But in terms of the general scope of the story, Young Griff still has a legit claim to the Iron Throne, right? Regardless of what you want to say, Daenerys is a woman. People will discriminate against her. That's all about what the dance is about in Rhaenyra's camp. And Rhaenyra and Daenerys have a lot of parallels that I think people look over because there's more obvious parallels of Aegon and Daenerys, with Aegon the Conqueror, I should say. But it's here as well. Even though Young Griff, even if he is a Blackfyre, right? Even if he comes out and they say he's a Blackfyre, yes, that might damage his persona if people believe it, but he still has a claim to the Iron Throne. He is still a male Targaryen. Some people will still harbor the idea that the Blackfyre should have been on the throne. That's what A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, the second novella, is all about, and even the third novella as well. But I hope you guys all enjoy this video. I know I have a lot of Blackfyre, Young Griff lovers in the comment section, so I hope you guys all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.